Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kapema Zulu and I'm a Zambia registered nurse midwife currently working in the UK. If you're new to this channel, a very big welcome to you, and don't forget to subscribe, like and share. And if you're already subscribed, thank you very much, and don't forget to continue sharing and liking my videos. Okay, so in today's video, I am going to be giving an account of how long it took me to complete the entire process of relocating to the UK, and I will also give an account of roughly how much I had to spend throughout the entire process. So before I get into the details of my video, I'd like to apologize for not having posted any content for the past few weeks, and I've got a good reason for that. So, having moved to a new country and starting to work in a new environment hasn't been easy. So mental health comes before anything else. I've had a few mental breakdowns, but don't worry, I'm okay. It's just I've been trying to adjust, and I didn't really have the time to sit down and make any videos. But today I decided maybe I should just make one, because I am in a better place mentally. Anyway, so I'll be looking down because I have some dates written down, and maybe I will put some screenshots in the video just to make it more, more accurate. Yeah, that's the word, accurate. So just to give a little history as to when I decided to come to the UK. Actually, when I completed my nursing school in 2016, I remember I was looking for a job, but it was so hard to find a job back then. And I thought maybe I should just relocate to another country, and UK was one of them. I did register with a certain agency where you had to fill in certain forms and whatnot, but during that time I didn't have any money, and you need money for these things. But luckily our government had a very massive recruitment and I was deployed, so well, I stopped. I now had a job, and after that, I started working, and then I moved from the government to the private sector, and then something happened to me that just made me sit down, revisit my option, do a little bit of reflection, and well, I decided to revisit the idea of relocating, and that was last year, October. So that's when my process, my real process, my actual relocation process began. So I decided to book for my IELTS using the British Council website, where I created an account first, and then I booked a date that was much more suitable for me, of which I gave myself like a month to prepare before I could actually sit for the IELTS, because this is something that you need to prepare for. It's not something that you just walk in and just sit for the exam and expect to pass just because it's an English exam. No, you have to prepare. Some may need more time than others. Others can do it within, 2 weeks. I gave myself a month to prepare, and I was not leaving any room for failure because it's costly. The IELTS are costly, and just repeating it was out of the question for me. But it's not a big deal repeating, it just wasn't on my budget. So like on the 27th of October 2020, I booked for my IELTS, and I paid 4,012 kwacha. That's how much I paid for my IELTS. I don't know how much they are now, because our currency exchange rate keeps on changing and whatnot, but I can say the IELTS are quoted in pounds, and I think it was around 172 pounds if I'm not mistaken. I'm not so sure, but in kwacha it was 4,012 kwacha. The beauty about the British Council website is when you're making the payment, it automatically converts the money for you to kwacha from pounds to kwacha. So it was 4,012 kwacha that I paid, and that was on the 27th of October. So the date that I booked for myself was for the 5th of December 2020. And yeah, I think that gave me enough time to prepare myself for the IELTS. And then on the 5th of December, of course, I went and sat for my IELTS, and I had to wait for 13 working days before I could actually get my results. While I was preparing for my IELTS, on the 25th of November, I decided to create an account with the NMC. I had a lot of faith in myself that I was going to pass my IELTS on first attempt. Not only me, but other people had that much faith in me. So you know what? I just said, let me register for the NMC while I wait to sit for my IELTS exam. I will not do the registration after my IELTS. Let me do it now. So on the 25th of November 2020, I opened an account with the Nursing and Midwifery Council of the UK, the NMC, and I submitted the necessary documents, and I paid the money that was required of me to pay, and that was £140. That was equivalent to roughly 3,920 kwacha then, because I think the pound to a kwacha was around 28 kwacha. I think, I'm not so sure, but it was equivalent to 3,920 kwacha. So I paid that money, and after I made that submission, I had to go to the General Nursing Council of Zambia, where I was also required to pay an amount of 3,500 kwacha, guys. So yeah, I made that payment, and afterwards I started waiting for the NMC to give me a response. At this point, I realized I had made a mistake in the dates that I was stating, so I had to mute out the audio and just record a voiceover. I received my IELTS results on the 18th of December 2020, and I got a response from the NMC a few days before that, which was on the 14th of December. So on the 14th of December, I got a response for the NMC telling me to go ahead with booking for my test of competence, which was the CBT, which I immediately booked for. And at that time, it cost me about 2,900 kwacha. I have just rounded it off because it was 2,800 and something. So just to round it off, it was 2,900 kwacha, which is quoted in pounds as well. It's 83 pounds. So that's how much I paid for the CBT, and I booked to sit for the CBT on the 7th of January. So 7th of January came in, and I sat for my CBT exam, of which I passed, because results usually come in the same day or maybe the next day. I think latest could be 48 hours. Yeah, and it was a pass. So after that, I submitted the remaining stuff, like I was able to submit my IELTS now, since I had my IELTS certificate. I was able to submit proof of my CBT pass, of which they usually ask for a screenshot. Yeah, and then I also submitted my declaration, that's my health declaration, and that kind of stuff. After that, I also made my registration payment, which is £153. And if you convert that to kwacha, I think it was roughly about 4,284 kwacha then. So I made that payment, and then I started looking for a job, of which I signed up with some agencies. I got a job interview with certain agencies that I was very happy with. They got me a job interview with a certain employer. That's the job that I took up, and that's where I am currently working. I got the job, and after that I had to start running around for the rest of my documents. Keep in mind, guys, you need your birth certificate for some of these things. I didn't have my birth certificate, so you can imagine I had to do it like in the shortest period of time. Yeah, but I managed. I got my birth certificate. I had to get my my diploma transcript from my nursing school, which I did. I did encounter some hiccups when trying to get that, but anyway, at the end of the day, I did get it. And then you also have to do a TB test. So for the TB test, it's quoted in dollars, and at that time when I was doing my TB test, it was around 3,050 kwacha. So the prices for the TB tests keep changing according to how the rate is, dollar to kwacha, kwacha to dollar, yeah. And then it was 3,050 kwacha, which I paid, and I had my TB test done. After that, well, my flights got booked, and on the 5th of May I left the country. I arrived in the UK on the 6th of May, and yeah, I started preparing for my OSCE, and on the 25th of June 2021 I sat for my OSCE exam. A lot of noise around the house. Sat for my OSCE exam and got my results on the 28th of June, and it was a pass. Yay me. You need to have a lot of faith in yourself for these things, you know. Don't leave any room for failure. I'm not saying failing is a bad thing, but you have to think of how much money you're going to spend. It's not a bad thing, but I mean, you just have to try your best. If you fail, it's not the end of the world. You can still, you know, do it again, but at least just try your level best, so that even when you fail, you're like, okay, I tried, but then I'm going to try again. So yeah, I passed my OSCE, and then on the 22nd of July I got my PIN, which is like a practicing license, and that's the entire process for me. That's how it went for me. So from the time I sat for my IELTS up to the time I landed in the UK, it took me about 5 months. 5 months, but time flies. It sounds like a lot of time, but time was flying. I couldn't believe, like, I was just from writing my IELTS and the next thing I was on a plane. So yeah. And then from the time I sat for my IELTS up to the time I got my PIN took about 7 months, roughly 7 months. So there are certain factors or hiccups that may hinder your progress, or that may prolong your relocation process. And mostly, I think the first thing is finances. Yeah, if you don't have like money readily available to pay for certain things, of course you're going to be delayed. You know, you have to wait until you have that much money to be able to pay for whatever it is that you have to pay at that particular stage. Not only that, but when it comes to the exams, of course, for example, you sit for your IELTS and then you fail your first attempt, it means you still have to wait and sit again and pass. At the same time, you have to keep in mind that you still have to pay the full amount for you to sit for your IELTS. You see why I say don't leave room for failure. I mean, okay, just a little room, but just have that much faith in yourself, you know. So I think these are the main two factors that will hinder or delay your relocation process. So now when it comes to how much money I spent for the whole process, well, roughly I spent about 27,666 kwacha for the whole process. Yes, 27,666 kwacha. And I haven't put into account of like police clearance fees, or the diploma transcript fees, or the monies I was using for transport, for gas or whatever. So like you have to be ready. I don't know how the rate is now, the exchange rate is, but you have to be ready financially, even just mentally, because it can be frustrating sometimes. Like you just feel like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore, or like you're making that payment and you're like, is it even worth it, me paying all this money? But at the end of the day, guys, I can tell you it's worth it. Well, according to my experience, it's worth it at the end of the day. This is money that you're going to get back anyway. If you want, you can even borrow. Just as long as you're going to pay back those people, you know, and as long as you have told yourself you're not going to be failing or anything, because hey, imagine borrowing money, then you fail, then you still have to raise money to pay back someone and to receipt. So No, no, guys. This is why I say do not leave any room for failure. But yeah, so that was the whole process for me. That's how long it took me, and that's how much I spent roughly. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to comment down below, or you can reach me on my other social media accounts. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. And until next time, it's bye.